Hello friend, welcome to plastic product design series. So in this video we'll discuss how to properly design or size the gate, runner and sprue in the injection molding. It doesn't matter whether you are running the flow analysis or not for the size of the sprue, gate and the runner. So you will need to specify the initial sprue, runner and gate size. So many times these size are chosen based on the experience and the flow analysis software like a simulation software. So in this video we will explain how to estimate or determine the size properly by understanding the material viscosity, gate dimension and flow behavior inside the mold. So let's start the video. So the first step is determine the material viscosity. So we will size the gate, runner and sprue based on the material viscosity, and we will understand the material viscosity, and based on that we will size the gate, runner and the sprue. So some plastics flows like a water and some plastics behaves like a molasses. So the viscosity is not a constant, so it change due to the shear thinning, and which occurs when heat and pressure reduces the material resistance to the flow. For example, you can see the polyethylene with 10 mfi. Mfi is nothing but the melt flow index. So polyethylene will not behave like a polycarbonate during the flow. So there is a different flow for the different material. So if you are unsure about the viscosity of the material, then you can reach to experienced person or you can check the material data sheet to understand the material viscosity. So this one is a very important to select the size of the gate, runner and the sprue. The next step is determining the gate dimension. So in that we will discuss the gate depth first. So the depth of the gate is a very important factor because it determines when the material inside will freeze. If the gate is too shallow, then it will freeze too soon and causing the underpacking, shrink mark and poor surface finish. And if the gate is too deep, then the packing phase takes a longer time and material can flow backward and create the voids in the part. So what we can do, so we can take the gate depth 60 to 70% of the part wall thickness for high viscosity material like acrylic or the rigid PVC, and we can take the gate depth 50 to 60% of the wall thickness for the medium viscosity material flow, and 40 to 50% for low viscosity material. So like that we can choose for the as per the material viscosity. If you are not confident, then you can choose the gate depth minimum. Later we can increase the step in the revision. Now let's discuss the gate width. So gate width actually control the how much and how fast the material flow into the cavity. For the gate width, we will consider the factor like flow length into the cavity, flow rate through the cavity and volume of the part. So the wider gate reduces the material speed and prevent the defects like burning and jetting. And if it's too wide, then the material might cool very soon and leading to premature freeze off. So we can take the simple formula like here you can see where W is the gate width in the inch and A is the surface area of the cavity in the square inch, and N is the material constant. So like for polyethylene material it will be 0.6 and 0.9 for the rigid PVC material. So you can see here, for example, for a PVC part, suppose the surface area is 110 square inch, and so you can see here 0.9 I have taken as a material constant, and you will get the gate width like a 0.314 inch. So this formula is not correct but it will gives the great reality check. Next step is understanding the flow behavior. So in a single cavity mold, if you see, the material flow directly from sprue to the cavity inside the cavity, but in multi-cavity mold the flow split at each runner and reducing the flow rate at every stage. So you can see here example like in a injection machine, so it delivering the 14.1 inch cube per second of the material, and then in two cavity mold suppose, so it will split into half and each cavity will get 7.05 inch cube per second per cavity. And in a four cavity mold, if we split that flow, so it will further reduce it into half and each cavity will get 3.52 inch cube per second per cavity. So you can take the suppose 32 cavity mold, so each cavity only get 0.45 inch cube per second. So this is why the gate and runner sizing need to be adjusted based on the number of cavity, and we need to understand the flow. So here are some key takeaways from this video. So to properly size the sprue, runner and gate, so remember we need to understand the material viscosity, it will affects on the flow behavior, and we need to understand the gate depth is very critical, and we need to start with a very small depth and further we can increase as needed. And the gate width controls the flow, and we can use the formula for that, and we can go for the flow analysis to check the accuracy of the what we have calculated. So for multi-cavity molds, we required some adjustment like flow rate per cavity decreases and branches are increases. So following these guidelines, you can avoid the costly design error and achieve the better part quality. So friend, I hope you like this video, and this video help you to understand how to size the gate, runner and sprue effectively. If you found this video helpful, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. And if you like that video, you can share with your friend also to understand and to spread the knowledge. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next video.